Welcome to another episode of the Myrtle Beach Golf Report, powered by Play Golf Myrtle Beach. I'm Kyle Oland, and as always, joined by my friend David Williams here in the studio in the golf capital of the world. And David, it has been buzzing around here over the last 7 days, and it's buzzing in the building.
I mean, dude, do they not know we're on air right now? Good God.
Clearly, we're not the most important people in the office.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. If you ask me, we are definitely the most important people in the office, but yeah, I'm tired.
It's been a long week.
I'm tired.
It's been a long week. You want to recap a little bit about what's been going on here over the last, literally a week from yesterday? We went nonstop for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days.
7 if you include Barstool Classic too.
Really? Thursday, Friday?
No, never mind. You're right. Sorry. Math. Yeah. I mean, crazy. We had DJ World Junior started Thursday practice round.
For those that don't know, what is the DJ World
It's
Junior?
the Dustin Johnson World Junior at TPC Myrtle Beach. Hold on. We just
Dude. Shut up, Frankie.
Like this is staying in the show too. Like I could hear everything. The Dustin Johnson World Junior was held at TBC Myrtle Beach last week, and obviously big names.
It's a junior event, right?
Yeah, junior event. Best junior players from all over the world. The winner on the boys' side was from Australia, but I think the two big names were Kai Trump and Charlie Woods. Obviously, drew the most eyeballs, I would say. And it was crazy. It was more fans out there than I've ever seen at a DJ World Junior. I think I've done 7 DJ World Juniors now. There's more fans there than I've ever seen, probably combined.
I dare say, definitely.
Like combined the 7 years prior to this, like it's more than that.
How many people were following Charlie around?
Probably 400, I'd say. I mean, it was anarchy and chaos for a while. I mean, it's crazy to see the teams that they go through or that they have. Obviously with Trump, like she had a Secret Service detail with her, and then with some Horry County PD and Georgetown PD help, and Charlie had his own security team and Horry County and Georgetown County PD as well. So yeah, crazy week.
Were they like hooting and hollering after his shots or cheering?
No, not really.
Like saying, "Get it in the hole."
No, it was pretty cordial. I'm gonna clip that. No, it was pretty cordial for the most part. Honestly, I did see a guy videoed all of Charlie's shots from the first round and put it on YouTube.
That was smart.
Yeah, it was smart or weird. I don't know.
Hey,
I mean, I guess if you're in the content game, why not if it's there, right? But no, it was good. It was just busy week. Congratulations to Caleb Bryant on the girls' side, and let's see if I can get his name right. Arrow Arav Shah. I think I nailed that for winning the boys' side. He is from Australia, and he's actually playing a match right now against George Bryan live on Twitch at Selena.
I saw that.
So that's
you know what
funny.
He walked out on Sunday when I was there, and obviously there was a lot of hoopla going on, which we can't share too much about. But he's like, "Can I go out there?" I was like, "Buddy, no, but you just won, so here's your champion reward. If you want to run out there, go right ahead."
Oh, he went out there?
I have no idea, but maybe that's how he connected with the one in question.
I mean, who knows, right? But funny story about Arav. I call him Arav. I don't know, like, if he likes to go by Arrow or Arav, but I'll just call him Arav. We're sitting on the back porch Thursday, practice round day. Sponsor lunch with DJs inside, so we're just hanging out on the porch eating some food, and I look at Dylan and I was like, and Arav is walking down 18. He had like the 4th tee time in the practice round. I'm like, well, I know he's not on 18. Like, he's probably gotten 4 holes in. And so Dylan kind of sees it. So he kind of walks out there, and, his mother's like the sweetest woman in the entire world. So Dylan's like, "Hey man, like, everything all right?" Like, cause Dylan was thinking, "Oh, he's WDN." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I'm good." He's like, "I played 4 holes. I'm fine. I'm ready to go." He's like, "I'm going to go to the range and then go home." So he played 4 holes in his practice round. I was like, "Yeah, I got it. I'm fine." So he apparently was here like an entire week before the event started. That day we went to Fiesta, that day when it was really cold. He was out walking 18 holes at TPC.
Oh, so he played it already.
Yeah, he was good.
Does he have a legitimate shot of playing on tour one day, would you say?
I mean, yeah, I would say most of those kids probably do, right? Just with the way the game's going. So you'll hear from him again. I think.
Is he committed to a college?
So I saw Purdue's head coach out there following him the last 2 days. So I think he's got a good chance of going to Purdue if he's not already committed.
How old is he?
He's young still. He's not super old. He's played a few years here.
He's tall too. He's like what, 6'3", 6'4"?
So it's funny. I didn't actually realize how. I mean, obviously I knew how tall he was, but he all the comments on the post that we put up from the PGMB account were like, "How tall is this kid?" And like, I guess it's like the angle of the photo and like how short like Kayla actually was, but like
it's the old like Shaq and a normal human being where he looks just gigantic. Well, he is gigantic.
He is. So, no, I don't actually know if he's committed anywhere. He doesn't have anything on his Instagram. So, but yeah, it was a really good week.
So that was on Sunday, and then what happened after that? Can't really share, right? Well, something else exciting has happened.
Yeah, I mean, then we'll just skip over Monday. We had Barstool Classic on Tuesday, and that was good. It was fun. I talked Steeler football with Jersey Jerry for like 15 minutes. It was really funny.
Did you see our good buddy? He's so much a good buddy. I can't remember his name right now.
Tough scene, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan Jones.
I didn't see Brendan out there. They had the whole crew there though.
Yeah, you know what? That's really cool to see how they've embraced Myrtle Beach over that was the 4th year they've done it, and obviously we had a long-standing relationship and partnership with Foreplay. But even since that partnership has come to a conclusion, it's nice to see they still come back. I think that speaks to how much they enjoyed getting to know Myrtle Beach in the 2 years we worked with them, that they want to come back every year and hold the Barstool Classic.
Yeah, and I don't think that relationship's going to end. I think they're already working on 2026 right now,
yeah,
too.
And
so
it's a great opening spot. Obviously that time of year, it can be a little tricky with weather. Typically you do get beautiful weather like they had out there that day, but it works out because I think the way their journey goes, and they have a semi that drives everything from location to location, that is like a great spot because the semi lives in Raleigh. So they hit Myrtle Beach and then they go down to Florida, then they come up around, then they finish back and boom.
Oh, I didn't know it was in Raleigh.
Yeah, the first year they were here, I was talking to the guy that was running it, because obviously Barstool Sports, they don't have the manpower to operate that, so they hire a management company, and that management company is based out of Raleigh, so like all of the event signage, etc., lives there, and then they load it up into a semi truck, and then they just hit the road every week. So
I'm going to need a new chair that I can hear just every squeak I'm making.
You're struggling back there.
Sorry.
But yeah, I always find that stuff fascinating because there's you always see in events like the Barstool Classic and other events that like travel, it's like, hey, why can't we have an event here in our state? It's like, hey, it just might not work logistically, right? You have to think about all these variables for these events.
Well, and it's not just that too. Like it's when, for years, all I heard was, why doesn't Myrtle Beach have a PGA Tour event? And it's like, well, it's not just that. It's not as easy as just saying we want one. Like, right? You probably know even better than I do all the stuff that has to go in behind the scenes in order to get a PGA Tour event to a location.
Oh, 100%. Actually, one of our friends that was out at TPC Myrtle Beach, name cannot be named, made the question to me out there midday, man, this place is amazing. Like, this is a great golf course, TPC Myrtle Beach. It's tough. It's a great challenge. Why don't they have the PGA Tour event here? And I was like, well, look around. Like, operationally, could you do it here? And the question is no, you can't.
There is a world in which you could, but you would have to add a new tee box on 10, 11, 8. The only reason I know this is because the tour did a site visit there in order to see this, and this is what they told them.
Well, outside of the golf course, just the infrastructure. I'm not questioning the golf course.
Yeah, but yeah, you would have to gut the whole clubhouse, essentially.
You'd have to build temporary structure or new permanent structure.
And from a parking standpoint, too, like, the shuttling the fans from wherever, like where are you going to put the fans, like where are you going to run the shuttles from?
It would be hard. Like, again, from a golf course standpoint, why would you have to move those tee boxes?
That's what the tour had told them.
Oh, because it plays too short.
Yeah, they would need to lengthen it a bit in order to like bring it up. I mean, Dunes Club even lengthened it too. They built that new tee on 8 and the new tee on 14.
So before they built the new tees I think they probably only use them for the Myrtle Beach Classic. What does the Dunes Club play at? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but I mean, it probably I think it added 40 or 50 to 14. So like that's 50 yards right there. And then 8, I mean, I don't know if it added a lot of distance to 8, but they made 8 a par 4 instead of a par 5.
Well, and number 10, the tee box.
Yeah, that tee box
is on the
by the putting green.
Yeah, that threw me off last year. I was like, what is going on here?
I'm trying to think if they added. Oh, they built a new tee box on 2 as well because that added about 30.
Do you think the course will be set up this year any differently, or it'll be the same?
I bet it'll be the same. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there was an issue with setup last year, personally.
Yeah.
I couldn't see him doing that.
And that's a great segue that what was once known as the Myrtle Beach Classic is now known as the ONEflight Myrtle Beach Classic. It was announced recently, since our last podcast, that our PGA Tour event here in Myrtle Beach has received a new co-title sponsor, which is ONEflight, which is a private transportation company that specializes in private jets. They also have helicopters and yachts. So that's really exciting.
They have yachts?
They do have yachts.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't really done a lot of research on them.
I think their plan is to bring the majority of the fleet to Myrtle Beach for the event in May, where they'll have the helicopters, the jets, and the yacht potentially out in the ocean. And one of the things that they've said is, I don't think this is me breaking any news, nor is it anything I can't say, but they've talked about landing one of their helicopters out on the lawn as part of the opening ceremony. Crazy idea. A lot of variables to that, as you're sitting there laughing, but that is one of the things that ONEflight would like to bring to the table to add to the pizzazz of.
That'd be cool. I'm an aviation nerd, so that fires me up.
Well, Ryan was telling me, and obviously Ryan Cannon, our executive director, has run major championships, PGA championship, Ryder Cup, et cetera. And he was telling me, which I didn't know this, that there's something called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like wind. It's essentially, there's this thing that when a helicopter lands, there is wind force that is created, that everything within a certain radius of that helicopter, you have gale force winds that are happening.
Oh, yeah.
So temporary structures, boom, they're flying everywhere.
I mean, you should watch an airplane land like through clouds and stuff, and you see the backdraft off the engines. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So when that did get brought up, I was like, this would be really cool. But imagine all those temporary infrastructure there just flying.
Are they going to have all that stuff again on the lawn? Do you know?
Yeah, it will be. But the concert, which is a great segue, the ONEflight Myrtle Beach Classic announced its concert or singers, talent, entertainers for the week. And there's going to be 3 concerts. One is going to be Kevin Costner, which I did not know he can sing.
Is that like confirmed?
That is 100% confirmed.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's been announced. He's playing in the Pro-Am, and he has some sort of band or something. So he's playing.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, you gotta look it up. Like, I didn't know Kevin Costner could sing, but I'm darn near interested to see what that concert's going to be like. And then Tyler Hubbard, who used to be part of Florida Georgia Line, and he went solo. He's made a name for himself over the last few years. He's the headliner. And then there's another band that is escaping me. But the plan is, which I think is really cool, is last year they had the concert there on the lawn with the ocean in the background. This year they're moving that concert area out into the fan activation zone, out by like 17, where all that infrastructure was last year. So the concert will be out there, which is cool. There's got a lot of green lawn space. It's open. You can fit more people back there. I think that'll be cool. Are you looking up Kevin Costner singing?
Yeah, no, he's got a band. I was looking up the other band that chairman of the band. Or chairman of the board. That's the other band that will be there.
Dude, can you pull up a YouTube video of Kevin Costner singing? I just want to listen to it and let other people listen. Like,
do you think we're gonna get DMCA'd if we do that?
oh, maybe we will.
Or whatever. Who cares? Oh, ad.
Just only play like 10 seconds of it. Like scrub to like the 30-second mark.
So while his ad plays, it's Kevin Costner in Modern West. You ready?
Is that Costner? All right. Well, when I get back to my desk, I'm going to listen to it. Yeah, but apparently he sings, so I wouldn't say he's the.
Well, he did it for Yellowstone. That's what it is. Oh. That's what the band is. It was created for Yellowstone.
Oh, so I bet I'd have to rewatch Yellowstone, but I wonder if there's a lot of his music within there.
Probably. Because it said something about Yellowstone there in the description.
Did you watch Yellowstone?
No, I did not.
I watched up until like they split the season, and then like there was such a long delay. Like I haven't watched like the last 6 episodes.
I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard like, oh, it's great, and then I've heard people be like, it is like one of the worst television shows I've ever watched in my life.
Oh, dude, I'm on the great side.
Are you?
But obviously not great enough that I felt the need to keep watching it.
It was so great I quit.
Yeah. Well, they made it too difficult to watch. They took this long hiatus or something, and then like I just decided, hey, I'll watch this some other time. But yeah, so the ONEflight Myrtle Beach Classic coming back May 8th through the 11th. You can get your tickets. And honestly, David, last year's event was truly spectacular. Awesome buzz, awesome energy around Myrtle Beach. And highly recommend, one, if you're local or semi-local to the Myrtle Beach area, making plans to be there. You need to be there if you're a golf fan or a golf junkie like us. But if you're going to be in Myrtle Beach on a golf trip, add it to the schedule.
Yeah, take a day out. Take a day off of actually playing and then just go and hang out. It's cool. Yeah. It's very, very fun.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, David.
Before we move on, shout out to, speaking of DJ Roll Jr. and having to deal with circumstances, big thank you to all of our first responders in the area for dealing with the wildfires that we have had over the past few days. We are fine. The fires are contained. No golf courses or hotels were harmed during the wildfires.
I don't think a single house was either.
No, not a single structure was burned.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So just had to get that in there at some point before we dove into the meat of the show.
Yeah, I know a lot of folks that probably listen to us either have friends that are work for the fire departments around the country, or they do themselves. So honestly, I have a lot of admiration for those men and women.
Where we want to go next, Kyle?
Do you want to go through the topics that I shared?
Yeah, we can.
You want to feed a topic? I'll lead, and then you can jump in.
Yeah. Let's go into pro golf because pretty much most of your stuff can be thrown into the pro golf side of things. Okay. Start with pro golf. Pro golf has been on. I mean, look, we haven't done a podcast in a month. I think last time we were on here, I said it was my flu game. I got COVID a day later, and I was out of the office for like a week. So
jinxed it.
Yeah, literally was. So a lot of stuff has happened. I mean, have you watched Full Swing yet?
You know what? I was scrolling through Netflix just last night. I stopped on it and then decided not to watch it yet.
All right. Maybe watch it for the next podcast. We can talk about it a little bit more. We can talk about it in depth a little bit.
Did you watch it all already or just?
I finished it last night. Okay. It was good. I don't know. For me, look, I don't think that thing is made for me, right? Like that's completely fine. It's just like, there's little things that I notice, that are like, oh, like that's, like one of the storylines they were building was for the Olympic team for Australia and Minwoo Lee versus one other person, Cameron Smith. And like because the Olympic teams, I guess, got locked after the U.S. Open. And so like they built it up. And then like the crescendo of the episode was supposed to be the U.S. Open. And most of it was, except then for Minwoo's stuff, they started cutting to like random events in Texas. And it's like, I noticed that, but like the average viewer might not notice. So anyway, do you want to start? All right. This might not be pro golf, but Creator Classic.
Yes, the Creator Classic is going to be
next week.
Yeah, because we're airing this episode this week.
Next week.
We're airing it next week.
Yeah. So it'll actually be really timely.
It'll be this week, according to when you air this.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to pick who we think wins it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Solly from No Laying
You're
Up.
gonna pick Sully. All right. So there's how many are in the field? Do you have that off the top of your head?
No.
I know who's gonna win it.
Who?
Well, last year Wesley Bryan lost in a playoff.
That doesn't count. Wesley's playing a tour event right now.
Well, hold on. That's what you would have thought last year, but last year at the one at East Lake, which I was there for that, so I witnessed this firsthand, and I'm going to give you what I saw. So Wesley was in a playoff with Luke Kwan, Roger Steele. I think there might have been one other person in that playoff, but Luke Kwan wins it. And during the playoff hole, there was a little bit of controversy. All right. So Wesley hits his shot, and basically Luke Kwan follows his line, and Luke asks Wesley, "Why'd you hit your shot there?" Wesley tells him, and then Roger Steele doesn't follow the line, and he goes his own direction. Well, then after the round, Roger looks at Wesley and goes, "Why didn't you tell me?" And Wesley goes, "You didn't ask." So then there was some beef going on between the two of them, and internet beef, all fun and playful, of course. But you know Wesley. I know Wesley. Wesley's a competitive son of a gun. I'm sure he did not like losing, being the only tour professional playing in that. I guarantee you this. Wesley Bryan will win, and he will be a bad man out there.
Now, a question. If he wins this week at the opposite field event, is he allowed to play in the Creator Classic?
I don't know.
Because I think
Kiefer would be the guy to talk to.
All right, Kiefer, we know you listen. Answer that question for us. There are, I can't count, but you got the Bryan brothers, FP, Gabby Golf Girl, Roger, Grant, Berkshire, Tisha, Solly, and then a Barstool personality.
They're playing a match.
They already did.
They did at True Blue.
That'll actually probably be out by the time this episode is out.
Oh, no doubt. But that was cool. That True Blue and
that's
Myrtle
very
Beach.
cool.
Yeah. So okay.
Grant could win. I could see Grant winning.
Yeah, but you know what? I was watching a clip yesterday of him, and it was actually talking about the Q from last year. Him and Peter were talking, and he was just saying, he's like, "Dude, I do not like competitive golf. Like, it is uncomfortable. I get really nervous." And he used Wesley as an example. He goes, Wesley gets nervous and he can kind of shake it off. I get nervous. Like, my whole body is shaking and I do not like it. So it'll be interesting to see if that, obviously the Q and the Creator Classic are much different. There's a lot more.
Is this competitive golf?
Yeah. Like, it's more of a exhibition for fun. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Probably shouldn't have said that.
No, it's true.
Yeah, so that'll be next Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. So you're going.
I'll go Solly.
Even despite what we know about his recent tournament play.
Yeah. He's been grinding. I saw it on the story. I saw our boy Matt Raymer posted on their IG that Solly's out there grinding. So.
Yeah. No. All right. So Wesley Bryan is a dog, and he's going to win.
All right. So let's just stay with the PGA Tour, and then we'll get into another pro golf thing. You put on here how to save PGA Tour ratings. Okay.
And that's not saying save the PGA Tour, save their ratings.
What do you have in mind?
Yeah, yes.
Do you have an idea?
Yeah, so news has come out recently that tour ratings are not where they would like them to be.
They're on their way back up the past few weeks.
They are. But I think what the story was, and this was the comparison, we just talked about the Creator Classic, and that was obviously brought on to help drive viewership and interest in the PGA Tour during a tournament week. But, YouTube golf, as we well know, has skyrocketed over the last few years. And the story that came out was that on a weekly basis, YouTube golf viewership is higher than that of tour events outside major championships. So the question then becomes, how does the tour combat any ratings decline, et cetera? And, I was thinking about it over the weekend, and, the big thing that is different from the PGA Tour, and I'll use the NFL as comparison. Obviously, the NFL is its own monster, right? But what the NFL has teams that people root for, and players that are marketed and people are just massive fans of. What the tour has a challenge of is marketing their players in a way that there is extreme fandom for that player, because you're not rooting for a team. The TGL has tried that, and I don't think it's been all that successful, but there's no team that a city can rally around. What the PGA Tour has to do is build absolute fandom and stardom amongst their players. You had that with Tiger. You saw what a big hit he was. I'm not saying you're ever going to recreate Tiger Woods, but you need to invest into your players in such a way that you are trying to build their profile and build fandom towards that individual player. Because if I'm tuning in, I'll be honest with you, I don't really have a guy that I'm sitting there rooting for. There's a couple, but I'm not like some devout fan. So they need to make these guys so likable, and you need to know every detail about their life that you have to be interested in how they perform. I think you can do that in a couple different ways. They've started down that path with Full Swing to some success, but they need to be, one, building the personal brands and helping these players build their personal brands. And I think you could do that by taking a page out of YouTube Golf and imploring them and helping them, sending their teams out there to build the individuals' brands and channels. If you're a fan of, we'll use Akshay. We've talked about him before. If you're an extreme fan of Akshay because of what you see him and his story and the content he's posting, now when he goes out and plays in a tour event, you're that much more invested in how he performs that week.
So I agree with you. Here's the issue with that, though, is that the players have to be willing to do this. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Like, they have to be open to a lot of the stuff. And let's be honest, a lot of them aren't.
A lot of them aren't.
And a lot of them don't have the personalities. Not everybody is a Rory, a Scotty, a Ludwig, like these massive all-star players that have these personalities, which is what makes Bryson such an anomaly. Because he has got that personality. And to the fact of it's something that I've been saying for a while is that, all right, so let's say they go out and they build this profile on Akshay, and he gets a crap ton of fans from all of this different content that they're doing. Well, if I'm somebody who isn't like a regular PGA Tour watcher, I see Akshay's playing in, let's say, Texas at Houston or something, and I tune in to see him on a Saturday afternoon, and I watch for an hour and 45 minutes, and I might not see a shot of him. At the end of the day, it's always going to come back to the broadcast.
I knew you were going to go to that, and that's a challenge that they have to figure out as well. Is, I think that's kind of what makes the Masters coverage so great, is that for the most part you can kind of almost watch who you want to watch. And I think that's a challenge, and that's a wrinkle in it. I think that's a great point you make, is that you can actually watch the individual you want to watch. Because, again, that's what makes, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and NBA different, right?
You're guaranteed to see them.
You're guaranteed to see them. So that's something they would have to figure out. I think it's doable, right? We've seen the infrastructure. They're probably trending in that direction. But to your point about not all these guys want to, not all these guys have the personalities, this would be my thought. You identify some of these young guys, Luke Clantons, the Nick Dunlaps, the Blades Browns, and you invest in them, and you say, hey, we view you as the future, and we're going to invest in you and hope it pays off 4 or 5 years from now. And then you can coach personality. Some people just truly don't have it, but you can turn what's the saying? You can turn something into diamonds, coal into diamonds or something, but you can.
Sure. Sounds good to me.
You can turn coal into diamonds, and you can coach them, but you have to invest in them. And if you show them hey, we're investing in you because it's better for the whole ecosystem.
And I think too is, as these events kind of as the PGA Tour reins itself in, right, and tries to find its, core, for lack of a better term. Let's be honest, there's probably in 5-6 years, there's probably going to be 100 PGA Tour cards. I bet at most. So it'll be a little easier come then. Just right now with all of the special exemptions and stuff like that you have so many players that considering you are a membership run organization,
which is a challenge, as we well know.
Yeah, you have to try to, every post on the PGA Tour's Instagram can't be Scotty, Ludwig, or Rory. As much as they would like it to be, unfortunately, it can't. Yeah. So, they're smart people there. They'll figure it out.
They will, but at the end of the day, people care about people.
And so, I don't necessarily there's a lot of this being thrown around recently about, if PGA Tour and Live get back together, that'll help the ratings. I don't necessarily know that will help. Will it hurt? No. But I don't
think that's the end all be all.
No, I agree, and I don't want people to hold their breath. Because Rory even said this week, we're recording this during the first round of the API, and Rory said this week that he doesn't see a deal coming anytime soon. They've had multiple White House meetings between Yasser and Adam Scott, Jay Monahan, and DT.
Can I ask you something? Why the heck does the White House have to be involved? I don't understand.
It's got to be something with antitrust issues, and the fact that if they, it really all stems back to the Jay Monahan saying that we're trying to take a competitor off the board, because that's direct violation of all antitrust laws.
Well, maybe Elon and Doge should just get involved. They seem to be making things happen.
If we want to dive into politics, we can dive into politics, Kyle. I think we're going to be in a completely different stratosphere if we do that.
We will, but you made a good point bringing up Live and the tour, whether or not they ever come together, and it's a good segue because there's been news that you've seen headlines, and obviously a lot of headlines are just speculation, but over the last few days, last week, you've seen headlines about whether or not Bryson DeChambeau is leaving Live to head back to the PGA Tour. Bryson came out and said, hey, that's unequivocally false. Or at least from what I read, how true that is, I don't know. But unequivocally false. I'm going to stay. Apparently his contract runs for another 2 years. What do you think? Do you think he's ever let's say the two entities stay separated. Do you think he leaves Live at any point to go back to the tour?
No, I don't. I think he's miles happier on Live. And I think that just shows through his game, what he's doing online. Thanks for everything you do online, Bryson. Do you remember that quote from last year at the Masters?
No.
After Friday, he said that somebody in the crowd yelled at him, thanks for everything you do online. It's a very funny joke.
Thanks for everything you do online.
Thanks for everything you do online.
Not what you do in real life, what you do in the digital world.
Yeah, so could I see him coming back to the tour eventually? Yeah. Is it going to be like it was before he left? No. Where he's playing 15 to 20 times a year? Absolutely not. I personally don't know if Live's ever going to go away. I think it will continue to exist, and it could continue to exist under a PGA Tour umbrella as a fall series or something like that. But I don't really know, to be honest. I don't think he would want to come back. I think somebody like Brooks Koepka would be more inclined to come back than I think Bryson would be, because Brooks was always a confusing one when he went to Live, right? It was kind of he's hurt. I get that. It's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, all he really cares about is major championships. And you can see that just by what he wears. Every player on Live, when they play outside of Live, whether it's DP World Tour or majors, they all wear their Live gear.
Or when they're not even playing, i.e. Dustin last week.
Yeah. So, but Brooks has never worn a single Smash GC piece of clothing outside of Live. He doesn't even wear it while he plays Live, hardly. So, the issue is going to be what does the reintegration of players look like, right? What does that look like back into the tour? Because right now, technically, they're all still suspended.
I'll tell you what, though. Whenever there will be a player that'll eventually that'll make their way back from Live to the PGA Tour. Whatever tournament that is, ratings are going to go up.
Yeah, what a story that'll be.
People are going to tune in. They're going to want to see how XYZ golfer failed.
I thought we would have it with the Myrtle Beach Classic with Turk Pettit in the queue.
Yeah, last year.
That's my boy.
Shout out, Turk.
Shout out, Turk. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the kid.
Did he have a kid?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So, real quick segue. David, you played actually out at TPC Myrtle Beach on Tuesday. Shoot, it all just runs together now. I want to ask you about that round, playing from where those kids played, what that's like playing from the tips and tournament conditions. But before you do that, obviously, hey, spring's coming.
Spring's here.
Literally, I would say spring is literally at our doorstep. She wants to come in. We want to open the door. We're just waiting just a little bit longer. But spring golf in Myrtle Beach, for all intents and purposes, is here. And friends, we talk about it every week. There is no better place to come on a golf trip than Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The value you get here compared to other destinations, it's unmatched. You can't even compare it. The amount of courses you have here, over 80 to choose from, tons of different styles to play. There's a reason why this place is called the golf capital of the world. You have so many different accommodation options, whether or not you want to stay on the beach in a condo, whether or not you want to rent a beach house with your buddies and just have the most amazing week ever, whether you want to stay in a resort, whether you want to stay in a stay and play type of resort, i.e. a Legends Golf Resort, great place. Or if you want a ton of different not accommodations, we just talked about that, but entertainment, restaurants, so many here to choose from. It's just ridiculous. Go to playgolfmyrtlebeach.com, start planning your golf trip today, fill out a quote, get connected with one of our packagers. They'll get you great deals. And remember, David, the one thing we always like to tell people, book early. You're going to save money, get preferred tee times, get the best tee times, get the tee times you want. If you want to tee off at 9 a.m., if you book early, you can do that. If you wait, you will not be able to.
And if you've never been here before, and it can be overwhelming your first time ever booking, a packager can help. You just give them your basic information, or your basic golf trip wants and needs. They'll take care of everything for you.
Yeah, you know what? You make a very valid point. I think that's one of when you look at Myrtle Beach, it can be overwhelming with, obviously, we just said you have over 80 different golf courses, ridiculous amounts of accommodation options. That going through a packager is definitely a great way to do it for your first time here. They're going to put you where you want to be, where you're not driving all over God's green earth. That's probably a really big key part to it. But spring golf is here, busiest time in the golf capital of the world. We want to see you here. And with that, David, talk us through what playing TPC Myrtle Beach was like from the tips in tournament conditions with that rough grown out. It was probably about 5 inches tall.
I mean, it was thick, over your shoes.
Thick. How'd you fare?
Horribly. It went wrong. And that's okay, right? So we played the same pins as Monday.
Okay, you played the Monday pins?
Yeah, I played the Monday pins.
Which you set those
Which
pins.
I set those pins.
Is that the first time you've ever played a golf course
that I've set
it up?
Yeah, because I've never set up a golf course until that day. So
that's kind of cool.
It was very cool. It was fun just to kind of be like, oh yeah, that thing's 41 on from the front, 7 from the right. Like, that's fun. Do I wish I had made it easier for myself? Selfishly, yeah, of course I do. Listen.
Did you try to drive the green on number 12?
I did. I was middle of the fairway, probably 40 short, so not bad. I'm not the longest player in the world, so I wasn't going to get there. But no, it was it was cool, right? Like, unfortunately, I got the rough taste right out of the gate on number 2. Hit a ball like just a little bit, just off the fairway left, and never found it. So made triple on a par 5. Like, and the wind was up. Wind was blowing like 20. So two plays 570 something from the tips as a par 5, with the wind in your face like it was. Probably plays 600, and having to drop 2, hit 3. After lost ball, like, that's just not fun. You're already behind the 8 ball. It was really tough. I'm proud of the way that I battled in a way. It was, I could have just mailed it in after 2 and 3, but I, rebounded. I hit the ball fine, which I think was more frustrating than like my actual scores because like I was giving myself chances, but I just was not capitalizing. And that comes from not playing a lot, right? You make really stupid mistakes. You try to be too aggressive in spots where you shouldn't be too aggressive. One shot I did hit that was like so sick. Like no one cares to listen to like me recap shot by shot, but I'm going to here.
Hey, everybody listening can relate.
So 15 for all of you that have played TPC Myrtle Beach, 15 from where it was like 4. I mean, it was probably playing 440, par 4. And so like if you take on the left further, you can get down and have, 160 less in. And I just like kind of blocked this thing out right. And there's a tree that sits on like the corner of the fairway that if you're too far right, you're going to be behind. Well, I was right of that. I was still in the fairway, but the tree was right in line with my ball. So I had two options. One, you could go left and try to cut it, but if it goes straight, which it would have because the ball was above my feet, if it goes straight, it's going into a hazard left and you're hosed. And the other option was go right of the tree, aim at 16 tee box, and go right of the tree and hook it and hit it about 4 or 5 feet off the ground and hope that it hooks and runs back. And so I'm looking and Dylan's kind of looking. He's like, dude, he's like, I think the only option is to go like aim at the people in front of us and hit it at them and hope it hooks. And if it doesn't, yell 4. And I was like, I hate to say it, but I agree with you. I was like, I wasn't even looking left of the tree. So I wait for them to kind of pull up a little bit. And I've got 220. I've got 4 iron in my hand. It's the longest iron I carry in my bag. And I put it on my back foot, lean the hands forward, close my stance to try to hit, like promote a hook. And I hit this thing and it's 3 feet off the ground. And I mean, it is humming and it just hooks around the tree, hits probably 30 short and runs up onto the front of the green. And I have like 25 feet for birdie. And I was like screaming from the middle of the fairway because it was awesome.
You probably felt like a baller.
I felt like Tiger. And then I hit it left of 17 and made double. So that was like very humbling very quickly. So no, really hard. Like if you've never played out a rough that thick, it is a humbling experience. Like I played, when I played Dunes Club after the Monday after the Classic last year. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I stayed in the show too.
Dude, you need some caffeine.
Dude, I'm struggling really, really, really bad today. We didn't play all the way back because we had a mixed group of skills in our group. And I remember looking at Matt from the tour, and he was like, do you want to play all the way back? I was like, not unless you do. And he's like, I don't. And I said, beautiful. So we didn't tip it out. But I will say, until I play it from all the way back the Monday after the Classic, the TBC from the tips in DJ World Junior conditions is just as hard, if not harder, than the Dunes Club. Obviously, Dunes Club is different because it's par 71 and it's probably 300 yards longer from the tips. But it was hard, man. Like, and I think just with the wind and everything like that, and we kind of finished it dark because we didn't start till almost 2. So, yeah, it was fun though. I had fun.
How soon do they cut the rough down?
So I thought I thought it was gonna be cut by Tuesday. So typically, because when I talked to Rack on Monday, he said, yeah, we're probably gonna cut half of it Tuesday morning because they can't cut all of it before the golf course gets full. And then you don't want to put your mowers out and have your mowers going in the middle of play and disrupt play. So he was like, I'm probably going to cut half of it. Humble brag, I hit a lot of fairways. So, like, I didn't, like...
You weren't paying much attention to the rough is what you're saying.
Oh, I mean, I missed in the rough. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, 2, 3, and 4, I was in the rough. But, yeah, I just I didn't see... There's no way they cut it. If that's cut, holy cow.
Could you imagine just a high handicap amateur golfer going out there before they cut that rough?
Well, think about the way it used to be with DJ World Junior. The tradition was to play the Monday after and like with the same pins.
And they would have it open to the public.
And typically the first like 10 tee times that Monday after would be sponsors and then the rest would be package play. Imagine your first round being the Monday after DJ World Junior and you start on 10 and that pin is like in the water, right? You're like, what the hell am I doing?
And you're a guy coming down from the Northeast, haven't played any golf.
Yeah, you
in
haven't
months.
you haven't hit a ball since September. That's the first thing you see.
I was on a call yesterday with a guy from New York, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I haven't." This is what he said. He's like, "Yeah, I've been calling the golf course to get updates on when they think they might be open." I'm like, "Wait, that's a thing? Like you have to like check when your golf course is going to open back up? Like we have year-round golf here. It's just things you don't think about."
At Barstool Classic, ran into my buddy Jacques, who used to live in Charleston. He lives up in Minnesota now. He's trying to go pro, so he moved back there to be like with his team. And I hadn't seen him in like a year and a half, and he was playing in the Classic, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, dude," he's like, "We've only had like 2 feet of snow this year in Minnesota." He was like, "So golf courses are opening up like next week." And I was like, "Only 2 feet of snow? Like what? That's a little?" He's like, "Oh, dude, that's nothing compared to what it normally is." I was like, "That is crazy to me."
Yeah, I think that's something we take for granted. Or at least I do for sure. I don't think about up north, but like, year-round golf here, like we complain when it's a little cold, right? But you can play golf here year-round. People,
Yeah.
100% we do.
You just have to have the want to.
Yeah. But, yeah, well, cool. Well, so what'd you shoot?
I shot all right, fine. I shot 86 with 3 doubles and a triple.
What's your best score ever on the Monday after the DJ at TPC Myrtle Beach?
Oh God, it's probably like 83.
And what would you, again, just to help people understand how tough that course is in those conditions, like what would you typically shoot at TPC Myrtle Beach? What's your best score you've ever shot there?
I shot like 75 there like 3 years ago.
Yeah, so you're 10, 11 strokes off. That's
Yeah.
how tough that is.
Yeah. So, and like I said, a lot of that's from not playing a ton either. So
Yeah, but you're a good golfer, so I'm not gonna.
I wouldn't say that.
You're better than most. Well, David, this was fun. And until you got one other thing?
Oh, I got one other thing. You got time?
Oh yeah, is it game time?
It's game time, brother. We're bringing back game time. Okay. So last time, what was the thing we did last time?
I had to guess.
Golfers logos. That's
yeah.
right. Gosh, it has been a long time since we've done one of these. So, we talked about the creator space. We are deep in the golf creator space here at Play Golf Myrtle Beach, very deep into it. However, there are so many golf creators out there now, Kyle. So many content producers in the game of golf. Today, Kyle, we are going to play a game of real or fake golf content creators.
Are you going to give me a name and I got to say whether it's real or fake?
Correct. That is
All right.
correct.
How many are you giving me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14.
All right. I want to try to see if I can at least get 10 correct.
Okay. I think you can.
Okay.
I think you can. All right. So the first one, Kyle. Some of these names are like unbelievably insane. So the Wood Brothers.
Yeah, that's real.
That is fake. That is what Ben, Dylan, and myself were calling ourselves on Tuesday at TBC Myrtle Beach when we were in the woods.
If somebody's out there, take the Wood Brothers.
It's a pretty good name. It's also a NASCAR team. So
all right, 0 for 1. Sheesh. Off to a good start.
Barstool Beef.
Oh yeah, he's real.
He is real.
He's new.
I met him on Tuesday.
Did he take his hat off and shake your hand?
He did. He's a very, 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 very nice guy.
They put a video up of every person he shook his hand off. He goes,
"Oh yeah, I know." He's a very, very, very nice guy.
Right, 1 for 2.
All right, the Boston Tea Party.
Did you make any of these up, or did you like have ChatGPT help you?
Oh no, I made the ones that are fake. I made up.
I don't think you're that clever. That's real.
That's fake.
Dang it!
That is fake. However, there is a golf tournament hosted yearly for charity in Boston called the Boston Tea Party, and that is very good.
All right, 1 for 3. I can only get 2 more wrong.
All right, Kyle. Next one, Squeezer. Oh my God, Squeezer Hot Cuts, Kyle.
It's so stupid. It's got to be real. It's real.
It's fake.
Dang it! Well, dude, you're basically the way you ordered this. I know the most of them are going to be real now.
Oh my God,
All
I'm
right.
losing my mind.
One
No,
for-
that is from a Tiger press conference. And the only reason I thought of that is because on No Laying Ups podcast, on their listener line, there's a guy that calls himself Squeezer Hot Cuts.
All right.
So,
1 for 3.
all right, next one, Salty Golfer.
He's real.
That's very real.
Gotten 2.
All right, Kyle. Sushi Golf. We got Taco Golf, you know.
I am beside myself on whether that's real or not. I am going to bet on the odds and say it's real.
That is fake.
Gosh darn it. Well, the creator golf space is so crazy. Like sushi golf sounds like
100%. Kyle, when I was trying to think of names, I thought of Taco, and I was like, he knows who Taco is because of last episode. I was like, I'm going to have to, like, and I was like, Sushi Golf. I was like, wonder if that, nope. Beautiful. All right, you ready? Next one, Homie Golf.
Good God. It's got to be real because there's only so many fake ones you made. It's real.
That is very much real.
I like sushi golf better than homie golf.
Next one, Palmetto and Pines Golf.
I think I've seen that. That's real.
That is very much real. My buddy Ryan. Shout out Ryan. You do good work. The next one, the third Bryan brother.
Well, there's G3, there's G4, and now there's a G5. Congratulations to the Bryans. It's probably like a spin-off spoof account, which I could see. It could be Joe Gilliland. That's his burner account.
Is it really?
I don't know. So it's real. It's real.
No, it's fake.
Dang it.
Fun fact, when I was looking this up just to see if anybody had made this account, you know what Wesley's real name is? Donald. Donald Wesley Bryan.
Well, maybe that's why they call him the Dominican Don.
Oh, great point. That's a callback.
Which I just wrote a radio spot for Wesley that'll air on PGA Tour Radio where he's claiming to be the mayor of Myrtle Beach.
Did you really?
Yeah, I haven't sent it to him yet.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, ready? Next one, Bad Golf.
That's real.
That is very much real. Do you know them?
No, it's dumb enough to sound real. Sorry, bad golf. I hope you're really bad at golf.
So you know what my thought was? I didn't know they were real, and I typed in, because I was like, I'm going to get Kyle, you know, you got good. I was like, I'm going to go bad. And I typed it in, and it was real, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Emergency 9 Golf.
Dude, it's so dumb it's real.
So this one I'm not really 1,000% sure on because they kind of tote the line. They're like a merchandise shop mostly, but they create some golf content on Instagram. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to give you that one because I don't really know if it's real or not. Next one. Golf Sucks.
It's got to be real.
That is fake. I made that up. Apparently there is a band that is called Golf Sucks, though, that I discovered in this research.
I'll tell you what, I'm not winning this wager.
That's okay. We didn't put anything on it. 2 more. Okay. 2 more. That Golf Grind.
That's real. I've seen that one.
Yep, that is real. And then the last one. It's a beauty here, bud. Golf Husband.
Real.
That is very much real. Thanks for playing, Kyle.
This was fun. Hey,
This was stupid.
I love your games. I can't wait for the next one.
I'm going to run out of ideas like really quickly, I have a feeling, though. That's my only concern.
Well, you came up with some fun creator names that are clever.
Squeezer Hot Cuts.
I have faith in you, David. Friends, there's only one thing left to do. See ya.